55-5.
What the fuck? Who's gonna win?
I don't know.
Who's gonna lose 5 games? The
So I'll
Dodgers?
tell
I don't know.
I'll tell you what,
I'm going all fives across the
whoever
board.
goes 55-5, if you don't win the World Series, I'm
I will be
tell you.
upset.
I don't
That's what I'm talking about.
What's up, guys? Before we get started, just do the usual. Please like, please subscribe, all you new viewers. Today's guest is a good buddy of mine, Jeremy Johnson. What's going on, my dude?
How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. So, before we get started, I just want to say again, we are sponsored by the Beard Bros Podcast.
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to sponsor, feel free to hit us up in social media or personally. Let us know. We're definitely open to ideas. We sit down and talk about it. Today's topic is going to be the M.L.B. Today's actually the opening day. How do you guys feel about it?
Well, it's going to be different this year, that's for sure, man. They got no fans out there, so all the people that feel that peer pressure with fans around, throwing walking people and stuff like that, they don't have to worry about that no more. So you're going to see some new stars shine this year. So
You think so?
Yeah, I
Do
feel
you
that
think
too.
they'll be legit stars, or you think they're just a fluke?
No, I think it's going to be a lot of rookie stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they
Instead
said
of
the
having...
jitters in them, they're gonna come out and just play ball. Like, they're
You
just
see
gonna
how
play.
rookies, they have to get them jitters out first. But now, guess what? I don't have to worry about fans now.
Do you
They
think
just
it's
go
better
out
or
there.
worse for the players? Let's keep it as teams. I know business-wise, money sucks.
Depending
Let's
on
not
the
think
player,
about that.
Depending on the player, like Judge, he feeds off the energy. Like certain players, like
But he's been having a good little preseason.
Puig does too, but he's not as good. But he still feeds. Certain players, certain pitchers too feed off energy. So it's gonna
That
be
a home run right there?
That's a bomb.
We're watching New York versus Washington right now.
That I didn't even see.
I just off Cole too.
Oh man.
So
Fuck.
I think all three of us, as you can see, and I can attest to him, we're all Astro fans.
Yeah.
I mean, there has been before COVID, there was the whole Astros cheated. Maybe they didn't cheat. They didn't admit to cheating. We've talked about it, but do you think that kind of gets swept under the rug now that there's no fans and all this short season?
Well, to be honest with you, the whole reason of them getting caught cheating and stuff like that, it's stuff that's been happening for the longest time. People are just barely realizing it, though. Heck, even when I played college ball, we had our own ways of stealing signals and relaying it to our batters. So,
Really?
yeah, so, I mean, it's just they're the ones that got caught, because why? They win.
That's true.
And they went in like kind of the original way, like draft, and then they brought their prospects. So if they didn't trade, they kind of did it the original way. So it kind of was like, damn, motherfuckers really doing something. And then they, like, oh, they're not as good as they really thought they were because they were cheating. But
I still don't think, even though I know a curveball is coming, to know, even if you knew where the placement was, to still get a hit or a homer or a RBI or whatever, it's not easy.
No, the context, I mean, it's the hardest thing to do in any sport, hit a baseball.
Exactly.
But you can at least relay the message to your batter if it's going to be off speed or a fastball, So as long as they know that, they know how to sit back and wait a little longer for the pitch to get in there.
Okay.
I look at it like the Washington Redskins, or Washington NFL team.
NFL team now,
whatever they are.
That's
They
what
were
they're called.
cheating, but it didn't benefit them. I mean, sometimes it benefits you, sometimes it don't. They were paying the refs, and it didn't help them out very much.
Like I said, man, if you get caught cheating and winning, then you'll get told on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's how that kind of works, is once you're on top, people try to bring you down, and they will find any way, and it sucks.
It's
Because
gonna suck when we win it again this year.
it's
I
tough
I hope
because
so,
I'm not
man. I
gonna
really
lie.
do,
Losing Cole was, I feel, maybe detrimental to the team.
that hurt. I cried a little bit.
Yeah,
inside.
because
I cried a
I
little
mean,
bit.
leading strikeout, just overall an amazing
And it
pitcher.
looked like in the middle of that season last year, man, that dude just really figured
Caught
it out.
fire.
Yeah, he just figured it out.
And it sucks that there's no cap in baseball, so anyone. I mean, I feel like there is a cap, but most teams like New York, Yankees specifically, they have no.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can't throw at their players, and that's why they got Cole.
Yeah, it's like if the NBA didn't have it, Knicks and Lakers would probably be the stacked teams. Like New York usually stacks their team pretty fucking solid. They got Judge.
You got the money, man.
Carlos,
Then go for it. Right?
and-
Dude, they're stacked.
But here's the
They're
thing
stacked,
with the
bro.
Yankees this time, man. This is one reason why I don't hate the Yankees as much anymore, man. Is because these are guys who grew up in their system, though.
That's true.
So I mean, most of the time they just sit there and buy players and bring them
But
over.
Carlos didn't go there. Cole didn't go there.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always
who
going to be
was
added. I mean, Verlander didn't go to the Astros.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, you're going to buy a couple
You're gonna buy a
players
few
if you're gonna
players.
try
I
to
just
go-
still feel like they have a lot. They got Matthew. They got.
Who's their first
But,
baseman?
I
Their first
mean-
baseman too. They have a few players. That
They just are stacked.
The only player I think that they had on their team just to begin was the Sanchez, the catcher, Gary Sanchez.
And Judge.
Judge. I forgot. But
And Tanaka, but
And
Tanaka's
honestly-
out for the year.
Honestly, Tanaka's out for the year. So that's
There's
a
only
bummer
one
for
big.
him. Is Alvarez for the Astros? Is he out for the year too? Or
Oh.
No.
Jesus.
He's fine. He's just
Him.
what? Was it his hip?
Yeah, he
was-
had this problem last year too.
Yeah. No, I think he's just kind of coming back slow.
Okay.
But I am. Their pitching, Yankees pitching, is down right now.
Mhm. They still got the best, like one of the best pitching. I honestly don't know who's going to win that division. I really don't. I honestly think Tampa Bay may be a little better. Than,
You
I
think
really
so?
don't. Even though they probably predict the Yankees just because they're playing preseason amazing right now. The Yankees
Right.
are so, but I mean Tampa Bay.
This
I mean
was
that
a-
pitching.
This was a thing I was thinking about. You know how usually the opening day is around what, April, May,
Mhm.
the end of April, beginning of May.
way up there. Yeah.
You have those teams that have those early spurts. They are on fire. But then leading up to like the trade deadline, they kind of slow down. They lose their momentum. Some of them even don't make the playoffs.
Yep.
I wonder if that. Do you think that's going to be somewhat of a similar?
60 games, man. All you got to do is be hot at the right moment. So
That's
I
like
mean, it changes everything, man.
Nothing.
It really does. I
Because
mean,
anybody could get hot. Like the Phillies could just pop off one
exactly.
month. This a month.
That's all.
20
that's,
games,
yeah, that's
pretty-
25 games right there.
You're
You
just
get hot
fucking
there, you
good,
can make
bro.
playoffs just right there.
That's true. That is true. That's kind of what I'm thinking is I have a hunch that a team that we're not looking at, because there's always that one team that's like
Always one.
comes out of nowhere. They're like, oh, they're really good now. They're going to win.
Well, with that said, what team would y'all think it would be? I got my prediction, which I think.
I'll be honest. I like maybe the Indians because I like their manager.
That's a good
Natives.
manager, and they got some
Natives.
damn good pitching. So.
They do have good pitching. I like their lineup with Lindor and a few other guys. They have the coach. I think managing is important when you haven't had that entire year so far.
I got you.
I really don't have one. I don't watch baseball enough to talk about baseball. I like just one team.
Well, right now with
I just-
60 games, you could name a team. They still
Yeah.
got just as good of a chance.
That's kind of like you could pick.
If I
The
pick-
Right now,
Marlins.
look at the Mets. The Mets are stacked right
If I had
now.
to
Go
pick
with the
anybody, it'd
Mets.
probably be the Angels. I don't even know if they're
Mike
good.
Trout.
Yeah. Mike
That
Trout's
dude
the dog.
needs some players around him, man. I love Mike Trout, even though he's, we have to be against him being Astro fans and all that. But
That's true. I mean, do
I
you
like
think?
Mike Trout.
Speaking on that, like Mike Trout, probably what we say he's the best in the league. He's the LeBron of the
Yeah.
MLB.
He deserves every penny he made. man.
Yeah.
I'll
Do
be-
you think he does himself a disservice, or
Same.
like Mookie Betts signing that 12-year,
Yeah, 12 years.
Is that- doing damage to themselves? Like you're basically saying the money's more important than my legacy.
Well, I mean,
That's tough, man, because
what was he
I
gonna do?
understand what they're doing because Mookie's proven himself
No.
time and time again, and he's he's always wanted to be a California guy, so
Right.
This is where he wanted to be. Up
So
there,
you think he's happy just being home?
just being home. So
He could have signed $100 million, still made more endorsements in LA than he could make.
I guess my thing is like the Patrick Mahomes. All these people that have signed these big long-term contracts, I look at them and I'm like, man, you're basically saying like you hope that they put enough. Like Trout, he's been there for how long now? And I feel like he's never really given it a run for the ship.
Yeah, it was tough.
it's tough, man. And they were the last couple of years for the Angels, man. They're like two best pitchers always go down. So.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to be good enough or anything because they always have good sticks. They
Right.
usually do. But their pitching's always been lousy, so.
They all like forever though.
Did baseball start and end, or did they just never started at all?
They never started.
They never got to
They've
start?
been pushing it up until now.
So
No.
it's a zeros around. No one got to
Zeros.
Damn.
Nobody has anything. But the thing is like the Yankees, Tanaka went down. Their other pitcher went down too. Who was their other guy that they have?
Let's see. They did have two pitchers. I can't think of who it was.
Damn, there was another guy. They have their pitching is very, very low right now. Like they're relying on Cole to have some good games. But like he said, the Mets look decent in their pitching.
This is going to be my out of the blue team right here. That's going to
Okay.
be a playoff team. Is the Reds.
The Reds.
The Reds. I'm gonna call the Reds win that division over there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Reds?
They got-
Reds.
Cincinnati Reds.
They got. Where you going?
They were a 500 team last year, all right?
Okay.
And they picked up two pitchers and one really good hitter. So
Okay.
I mean, and that team's so young. It's no crowd behind them. They're about to blow up.
That's true. That's. I think without the fans, I even look at like basketball right now. It's like, man, there's no compromise for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different feeling when you're in front of people.
It is.
The only way they could do like fans, if they do like a live stream fans, like that's the only thing you could do. Like
Because
pay for seats that you are like live streaming.
Think about it. It could take you being on a away field right now, and you're pitching right now, and sometimes the fans get loud and they get in your head, you know, and you can't
Yes.
think of what pitch you're about to throw and where you're gonna throw it. Guess what? You don't have to worry about that no more.
No, man, there's so many factors. Like when you hit a home run and you're down by 3 and you hit a 2-run homer, like that should build momentum, especially if you're at home. It's like, oh, we're back in the game.
Momentum.
But then there's no fans and maybe you don't grab that momentum.
I don't know. Maybe it just we'll have to see because maybe it's just.
I mean,
cool,
I'm
like-
sure the team's got some kind of like voice audio that does a fan base.
I'm sure they got
also.
music or
Yeah,
something.
and then I'm sure that your team is gonna be right there and live that spirit also. But
That's true. I just feel like it doesn't make up for 70,000 fans.
but if you got them fans getting into that pitcher's ear, man, that's kind of
yeah, it's tough when you start hearing the booings or the yellings.
Yeah,
and-
especially like in the Red Sox stadium, everybody's gonna hear in that stadium something.
Yeah, and it's like doing a speech. I can prep a speech with nobody out there, but the moment people are out there, it's like, it's
boom,
different.
It's different. Yeah.
and now it's like you said, maybe the rookies might shine a little. I mean, it depends, but I don't know. Obviously I'm an Astro fan, so I'm biased. I want the Astros to win, especially during this whole scandal of things, of course, just to shut people up. You know, when Tom Brady, I think, got the Deflategate scandal, he came back and won the Super Bowl the next year, or that year, or whatever
It's
it
true.
was. It's
Very
like,
true.
I want the Astros to do that, and it sucks in a sense that we're not gonna get that backlash from fans. But I mean, players are still throwing balls at our players.
That's true.
You know.
Like, we got beamed like a record amount of times during the spring training there for us. So.
And see, I also read in the rules too is like with the 6 feet distancing, social distancing, that if any manager or players approach the umpire or leave the bench and stuff, it's like an immediate ejection, fines, and suspension, and there's not going to be any, what is it when they try to fight it?
Oh, they got a pill.
An
Oh,
appeal, there's no
Okay.
appeals, it's set in stone as is.
That makes
So they're
sense.
trying to control that part about it.
That makes a lot of sense. If you're gonna be able to go out there and play, I guess they gotta establish those kind of rules. So,
Yeah. I feel like the MLB has done the best so far
yeah,
with
well,
this whole.
I'm hoping this starts opening it up for other sports to come through too. So
I don't know, man. It's
Football
tough.
would be hard. Like we
That's
spoke
what I'm
off
saying.
camera.
Football's
Football would be
gonna
hard
be
to,
real hard,
to
huh?
do something. But baseball, it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, baseball seems decent, I guess. I don't know. They were talking. I was watching ESPN a little earlier, and they mentioned that the NFL is going to require fans for 2020 season to wear masks. But I know a lot of governors right now aren't allowing anything gatherings like that.
I
But they're-
wonder if they could just do the 50% thing like they did.
That's
in the
what
restaurant.
Well, some states are allowing stuff like that. So they were talking, is it an advantage or a disadvantage, or how do you make it even? If, like, let's say Missouri's cool with Kansas City having their fans, okay? And then, but Dallas is like state of Texas governor's like, no, you can't have those gatherings. So you travel to Kansas City, you got fans, even if it's 50%, but Dallas has no fans. Do you say you can't have fans, or what do you do?
Wow, that's a hard thing
That's
to do.
a tough one, man.
They should just run like baseball, no fans at all. Every arena. Fuck it.
Yeah, this is only time could tell. They keep changing the rules each week, so.
Yeah, I think that's what's crazy too. Is you like it's so crazy to see a sports game right now.
I was pretty excited all day. Like, baseball's finally starting.
Yeah, baseball's here.
That's how I felt about last night when I was watching preseason basketball. I was like, oh hell yeah!
Like, it just feels almost surreal, in a sense. It's like, man, we're watching sports again, because it's been gone for 4 or 5 months now, and we didn't know when or if it would come back even this year, and we're still not sure if even the M.L.B. is gonna finish out. You know, like,
That's
yeah, they're
true.
starting, but who's to
It could
say?
be shut down like all the other stuff, right?
Yeah, like,
That's
like,
true. Players start getting corona. And shit.
yeah, you start getting corona. We were talking about that. Like, we were saying, you know, when someone gets hurt, it's next man up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, typically, but an injury, you can't give someone else an injury from you having an injury. But COVID's different because it's spreadable.
Yeah.
So if one of these guys, I'm just hypothetically, Garrett Cole gets corona. Well, then all these players on both teams are like, well, damn, he was pitching to us. I can't. You know,
You coughed on the ball.
yeah. Oh, that was one of the rules too. Now that you mention it, they're allowed to hold a wet towel, and they're, instead of licking their fingers like a lot of pitchers do, they're allowed to hold a wet towel, but they have to make sure they dry their hand before they throw the pitch.
Oh, that's cool.
That's weird, but nah, it makes sense. I was thinking, I was like, how does that affect the batter? But I was thinking like the other team it doesn't really affect the team on baseball. I mean, the pitcher could have corona and he'd be straight, really.
How do you figure?
Well, it's like there's no contact with the players really. Like the contacts with the same team, like pitcher and his team. The pitcher and the other team really don't have contact.
I don't know. I just think precaution-wise, they would just do
Well,
both.
I think before each and every game, they have to take a test, or they have to get swabbed or however it's called before every game. If you're positive, you can't play.
Right.
That's why Soto couldn't play tonight. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he couldn't play tonight because he got tested positive. So.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
So,
NBA, they test them every day, every morning. They go in there and get tested real quick, and then they have a result right then and there.
Do you think that they should have done something similar to the NBA?
There's no way, bro. NBA's in the playoffs already. There's only fucking what?
21 teams or something?
There's
like
only
that?
a few teams in there, bro.
I mean,
This
that's
is
almost all the teams.
It sucks that they shut down that basketball too, man. Because Rockets were looking mighty going in. And I'm a Rocket fan, so.
they just got Brody and James Harden back, so they're good now.
I don't know, man. It's tough to. I guess you're right, but it's just. I don't know. It's weird to even think that we live in this world now that, you know, sports almost seems obsolete to even have.
Yeah, it's like a privilege now, like to watch a sport. Like you honor this one game, and it's like irrelevant. It's like one game out of 60.
Well, that's what. Okay, so that's the thing, though. These games are more important now.
Yeah.
Before it was what, 182 games.
162 games.
62 games, so 162 games. You could give up a game or two here and there, take a day off, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think you can afford that anymore.
Nope. Each play, less mistakes, the better chances you got now. So.
Do you see maybe a potential undefeated baseball team?
No.
60 games?
No.
That's a lot of games.
I don't think there's ever been a
60
consecutive wins in a row.
in baseball? No, I don't think so either. I think it's like
Not
20
in MLB.
something.
Yeah, I think it's like
Even in the
28
NBA, it was
or
like
32 or something.
like 35 was the most games won in a season for NBA. So there's no way you're winning 60 in a row, bro.
I mean, knowing the importance, it's different.
That's a lot of
This is a
fucking
game where you
games.
can do everything right and still have wrong effects. So I mean,
See, I'm a strong believer of pitching. You have a good 3 rotating pitchers, at least 3. A 4th, you got to at least have like an average guy. But 3 solid dudes, that's why I was upset when Cole left, because we had him, Verlander, and Greinke hopefully got his shit together. Man, we're looking solid.
Yeah.
And now, like, I think pitching, you could be the best hitter in the league.
I think we'll be still all right, man, because we didn't have McCullers last year, and McCullers, we got him this year now, and he was dominant the year before. So
I didn't like him only because when I went and watched him versus the Yankees, he didn't make us lose, but we lost 13-4. I was pretty
but
pissed.
we don't win the World Series without McCullers because he's dominated
That's true.
against.
All I gotta say, our
raw.
batting's at least top 5. So.
Yeah, no, our batting's probably
Or
top
probably
2.
number 1.
Yeah, we're probably.
I
top
mean,
2 or
Yankees
1.
and
Yankees-
Dodgers are pretty good. Bro.
Yankees probably got us, and maybe Minnesota, maybe or something.
Maybe.
But
I put us top 5. Cause
yeah, that's legit.
That's
I'll go
legit,
for it.
yeah.
our pitching could do little work. But
Our pitching's probably,
Our
Not
after our 3 starters, man.
we're pretty bad.
Yeah, I was about to say
we're not
we
winning
don't
6
and
games.
it doesn't
No.
got Asuna right now. He hasn't pitched live pitching yet, so we don't
No.
have a closer. We got 3 guys who've never pitched pro ball as our relief pitcher.
I was going to say, our closer has never really been good.
At least it's no fans, so the closer won't be all shitted in his pants. Like,
That's
fucking
true.
9th inning, down by, or up by 1, you should get 3 outs.
What do you think about the extra inning rule now?
What's
Where if it's only during the regular season, I guess, not postseason, but as if, let's say this game goes to extra innings, starting on the 10th inning, top of the 10th,
It's a tie?
like whoever's batting, whatever team's batting, their first player can go to second place or second base. It's already starting.
This is how they said it was going to be. The last batter, the last inning, automatically goes to second base.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then they'll start their 3 out from that. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What are we doing? Playing softball?
Yeah, they pretty much just did that, man, because they're trying to keep the players from the
Yeah, I
coronavirus
guess that's
as much as
good.
possible.
But I feel like there's strategy behind it because now you get 3 outs. That first guy's got to be able to bunt.
Yeah, imagine,
You bunt, move that guy forward.
Imagine
Now all you gotta do is a slap shot or a fucking fly ball to the right field, and you're in.
That's
the rules
true.
could be fucked too. Cause what if they could do like a pinch runner for that guy and take him out the game? You know?
You could do that.
Now you
too.
got 100 pins or somebody on fucking second base, and you're like, fuck it.
Yep.
Well, that's where strategy comes in.
Yeah,
Not everybody has a fast guy.
Like you got
Not that fast.
Mookie Betts or a Tuve or somebody on second now. You're like, fuck. What the fuck?
Yeah, but might even score.
And yeah, exactly. And that's another thing is they're doing away with NL is doing away with pitcher batting,
Yeah.
and they're all going DH.
That's cool. That should how it
That
should
should have
be.
been a.
Yeah,
that
it
should
should've
have
You
been.
think that's how the rule should always be?
Do you
It's-
really want to see a pitcher bat?
It's strategically. I mean,
It's
strategic. You don't get to play strategic baseball no more, but
that's true.
I mean, everybody wants that extra hitter, and now you don't have to worry about it because everybody's gonna hit now. So
That's true. I don't know.
Pitchers only got to worry about one thing, pitching. So hitters only got to worry about one thing. now,
I
too.
just think it puts the NL at a disadvantage because they're not accustomed to doing that. So they're not always looking for a DH. Like, yeah, they could have a pinch hitter, but is he a DH like a David Ortiz?
But
or
you got to think of it this way too. When all these years that we had to play each other in the World Series is a disadvantage for American League when they had to go.
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
That's why I think it's fair on both ends. Now,
Yeah.
I think right now, seasonal-wise, it's a disadvantage to the NL.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, in the World Series, it's both disadvantage. You're going to get some home games where your pitcher has to hit, and it's like...
And their pitcher's always got. He's had at bats through the whole season. The NL team, the
Yes.
American League, done.
They have very
Yeah,
few.
they hadn't hit all year. Well, they're just gonna go out there and strike out real quick. And get on out of there.
That's the worst feeling, too. It's just an easy out. It's like, oh, you never want to be an easy out. That's not good. You're not getting no pitches in from the pitcher. You're not probably advancing any runners.
So 60 games. How many months is that? 3, 4?
It's.
I think it's just to the end of the
It's going to
season.
end of September. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's same amount
So
of time.
they just
It's-
counted the days from where it started to.
Yeah.
Basically, they're gonna go end of September, October playoffs.
Do you know if they moved the trade deadline at all?
I know they did the roster change. I don't know if they're having the trade deadline this year. I think it's already done with. So, but they're doing a roster thing. Like each team right now has 30 players on their team.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and as of August 6th, I think it is, you have to take 2 of them off.
Okay.
And then August 20th, you have to take 5 more off.
So they're doing
So it
cuts
goes
during
from
the
30,
season?
You go from 30, you have to have a 30-man roster right now, and then it goes to 28-man roster, and then it goes to 25-man roster. So.
That's pretty cool, low key. That's like preseason and the regular season. It's like you're just cutting motherfuckers.
I mean,
It's not necessarily cutting them; they're just throwing them back to the AAA ball.
Right.
So,
But it's AAA playing though, right?
You know what? I really don't know that.
I think they said that they weren't playing.
Really?
So.
Well, I know the only things playing is NBA and MLB right now. I know
Yeah.
Wrestling, WWE too.
See, and I think
That's
they
true.
even moved the draft.
And I think this year was the first year they were going to try that new system. You know how you see on TV where they got the square boxes, the strike zone?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they were going to try that with the AAA ball this year.
Really?
Yeah, and now
Dang.
now that all this happened, who knows what's going on anymore.
That'd be kind of cool to see, like, but they're just looking at the box.
I always thought about that idea. Like, what is it just to keep it more like natural, I guess, like human run?
It's more towards, you can't, no more complaints at the plate, for one thing. 2, you'll still have an umpire because you still got to make the safe out calls at home. And 3, in my mind, I think they should have started it already because guess what? That eliminates now the umpire being so close to the catcher making those calls.
Right.
Especially during this time where we had to stay 6 feet apart from each other. So.
See, that's what I'm thinking. Just overall, like, why not just get, like, even at the home place, there's so much review. I feel like everybody, like, at every stadium, you should have, like, at least 2 dudes, maybe 3, and have these guys reviewing this footage every play. Just focus on that game, every play, review. If it's a close call at home or first or second, or anything, tag outs, strikeouts. Strikeouts should be easy. If they have the little box, you just announce it on the announcement. Boom, strike. And they could even be more elaborate. Strike, bottom left-hand corner. You know what I mean? They know all of it. Just get rid of the fucking.
I mean, there is a lot of fans out there though that do love the umpires making the calls.
That's probably my point.
Because I'll be honest with you. I mean, I love it when they make the wrong call, even though it benefits us still.
Right.
I like the human
error.
Yeah, I like the human error.
That's what makes baseball a little more exciting. So
I mean, it does.
I like the human error part of the baseball.
I just feel like there's so many calls in all sports that it could be avoided if the human part wasn't a part of it.
I mean, imagine how many times you call double dribble in NBA.
Double dribble.
Because they do that all the dang time,
Pass interference.
Yeah,
pass interference.
They'll sit there and walk like 4 steps before they start dribbling the ball. In college, they'll call it quick, but once you get in the NBA, the big stage, man, it's just like that rule goes right out the door. So.
Yeah, that's why I like to have the ump there. Unfortunately, I don't want him now because I don't want him to stop playing baseball because it's a sport I can watch now. But it's like.
I think that's important. I think this is a time where everyone can come together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's something to watch on TV that's not a pre-recorded show, a movie you've watched 10 times.
Or a series that ends in 30 days. Like, you can watch it for like 5 days and it's already over. It's
yes.
Like some shit. I get you.
There's
different kind of entertainment.
Yes,
it's
it's
can't even watch
entertainment.
live PD no more because people want to take that off the air. So it's no live shit no more. I'm pissed.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's good. It's getting bad out there right now, man. It's just.
I wonder how they're doing stuff with their players. Like, do they limit them from going out, or like the baseball players? Like, can they just do normal living?
I'd imagine that.
I'm sure they're able to do as they please, but it's just a matter of.
Do you want to risk your season?
You're risking it because, like he said, you're getting tested.
Mm-hmm.
So you come back positive, like Soto did today, you're out.
Yep.
And see, I think that was one of the things was the baseball players of all sports so far were the ones that came out and mentioned they wanted to be paid for all the games, for all season. And MLB was like, nah, like you didn't. If you don't come to work, how are we supposed to pay you kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they better get unemployment for those 4 months.
But that's what
But
they
you gotta,
said.
You got to give it to the baseball players, man. They stepped up when they needed to, though. I mean, they're not obviously going to get the money that they thought. All their paychecks got cut in half because of the whole Corona stuff.
Right.
But as far as the field maintenance crew and all that, the players are the one paying them. So
Really?
So it's been beneficial as far as because they need somebody to come do the fields, And that's
Off
what's
the
been
top of
playing
your
them,
head,
the
do you
players.
know what league minimum is for a baseball player?
Probably a million, at
Man, I
least.
know back in the day it was 250. Well, it just depends what stage you made it to, also. So if you're
Okay.
AAA or better, I think it was 250,000. But I really don't know.
Because I know
What
like
is it?
NFL is like 750K.
Yeah, I think M.L.B. they start you at a 400,000. But that's something I need to look up.
See,
so.
because I know like for Dak, for instance, he was a fourth rounder. He only got paid with like under $4 million over the course of the last 4 years, 3 years, and so it's like I feel like these guys get paid a shit. So I'm like,
I'm pretty
There
sure.
it
I'm
is.
pretty sure somebody on that team will do what they did to Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin was getting paid by I don't know his name. I'm trying to think of his name. He's a shooting guard. He was paying him under the table just to stay alive, just to live life. He was just like, you're getting paid no money here. Here's $300,000 or whatever he gave him to
He
live.
was the Harvard guy, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So they were helping him out on the team. Like some of the players would give him money here and there just to survive. You know how it happened after that. He got a big paycheck after that.
Mm.
But I'm pretty sure they'll do that with these guys. They'll probably be like, oh man, this dude's making nothing. That's fucking.
Man, if you grew up doing this as love for the game, though, I mean, this shouldn't mean anything to them. So,
You know what would
because
be
I would
cool?
do that, only getting paid, just minimum 60,000 a year. You can pay me 60,000 a year. I'll be happy to go out there and
Oh,
do that day
Yeah.
in, day out. And I'm
but
not,
then I don't know. It's easy for us to say because we've not made millions of dollars.
no, you're right.
You know?
Yeah, but you think about it, more of their money comes from their sponsors anyway. and stuff like
Sponsors,
that,
the stadium revenue.
So,
I mean, down to the parking. Like
Mhm.
you're charging people to park somewhere
yep.
to go watch you play. Like it's not enough. You already
It's
bought
not-
tickets.
Yeah, it's not like $10 parking no more, man. It's like $40 parking.
Yes,
You're like, Jesus.
and you still gotta walk a mile.
Yeah, but you still gotta walk a mile. It's like,
That's just no joke. But I mean, it's cool.
yeah,
it's cool. I'll pay that money.
That's awesome. You get in there and get you a $10 beer and just.
Shit, they're probably 20 now.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, okay, if they were to say, hey, you're allowed to come to the game, but there's a chair between everybody. You gotta be like a zigzag. So if you're here, there's a chair between you and the next person. Plus, there's no one behind you. There's a person. Would you be attending?
And they added the mandatory mask and shield.
Well, you see how they got chairs like that the whole time? You know how they use orange for caution? Maybe put a cover over each and other seat.
To make
and
sure
then
that's
just to
not what
keep
you.
it, you can't sit on orange. You
Okay.
can't sit on orange. That'll keep it at 6 feet every time.
It would just be interesting because you're not gonna sit like next to me. Like you will, but you'll be about that far.
I would do it. I mean, like if the UFC's like, hey, we can have this many fans, I'll go watch UFC. Fuck it, like, I'll be like, all right, cool. I can't sit next to my brother, but he'd be right there, and I don't have no one next to me. Really, I'm just like chilling. I'm chilling, bro. So I'm fine. Fuck it.
I mean, it wouldn't, I guess, not be the worst idea.
No, hell no.
If you love the game enough, man, you'll still go watch it regardless of the
Right.
of the rules. You know what I mean?
So, on MVPs, so you get an MVP for each league. You got any front runners right now?
Man, that's tough. Just because we're Astro fans, I want to say an Astro, but
Oh, I would have said an Astro, but I'm gonna try to keep it
yeah. I feel like
unbiased.
Altuve is going to have a monster year just because of how much critical stuff they put on him. So, but I want to. I love Mike Trout though. So
Mike Trout is a beast, man. But I feel like Bregman's red. I know I don't want to say Astro either, but we have a lot of players that could be MVPs.
Yeah, Bregman's my guy. I have this the only jersey I have of a baseball player, and it's fucking.
you know what?
That's what-
Mayu might get one this
That's
year.
who, bro. He's
LeMahieu.
good, bro.
And then who's on the? They're AL, right?
Yeah, NL. I'm gonna say that stays to Yelich. That dude's a
That fool
monster.
is good, but
He may look like he's
Mookie-
12, man, but
Mets better step up.
Because the Nats are on that side too, right?
Nats, the Mets. I mean, you can go on and on. Phillies,
I'll probably
Cardinals.
pick the dude from the Dodgers, the white dude. Is it Bellinger?
Oh, Bellinger. I don't know if he's MVP though.
I think
Yeah,
he's gonna tear it up.
he's one of them guys, man. Either because he gets his 30-something bombs a year every time, but he always has like a 200 average, like a bomb or a strikeout,
That's a good little segue. I've always wanted to bring this topic up. Are you against? And hear me out. Are you against steroids in baseball?
Enhancing. You know what? Yeah, I am.
You are.
I
And
am.
why so?
I am, but only because it causes injuries faster. It has nothing to do with the enhancing of the players, obviously.
Okay.
So, because we're at the end of the day, man, it's all about safety.
Right.
And all that does is tear up your body quick.
Okay.
So
So you
really,
see better players go down sooner, their
Yeah.
careers ending a lot earlier.
like I played college ball, and even in like my time over there, man, we've had like 7 players get dismissed because they got caught with the stuff. So
Right.
So I mean,
Okay.
I was wondering why I was so scrawny back in the day, and these dudes were monsters. I'm like, man, I did not learn anything. Getting up
Yeah,
that
blaming
level.
Razzle
I was blaming
You're like,
Razzle High.
"You don't
and
know
like,
shit
oh,
about
man.
strength and conditioning."
No, I thought I was busting my tail. Too.
I mean, you were. The other guys are just cheating.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get that part. Their personal livelihood would be deteriorated, but at the same time, I'm all for the 500 footers. Like, I'm like, if you can hit 500 feet or plus or 450 plus, I'm all for it. You know, like I just extend the stadiums a little.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
take out a few of those rows of bleachers or extend them backwards somehow. And just, I mean, not everyone's going to hit home runs. And I think it should be a personal choice. If not everybody wants to do them, I say don't do them. But
Yeah,
if
that'd
you
be
want to
pretty
do
sick.
them, do it. Because this is why. You're not hurting anybody else. Like in football, you're hitting people. So you can hurt somebody. UFC, you're wanting to knock somebody out. You can hurt somebody. Basketball, maybe not so much.
There's still a lot of contact.
There's still contact. This is a contactless sport, except for the ball and the bat.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Talk
Honestly,
about
if you want to see more balls get hit and hit a lot further, I think they should just move the pitching mound about 6 inches back.
back because
Half
that
a
lower
foot.
the speed of the ball coming
that
through.
means that gives them that extra 0.1. Let's see that ball come in, and I guarantee you, them offensive numbers that everybody wants to see will jump up like crazy.
That's
so.
true.
I
With the
don't
social
know.
distancing, you could further the field further because, I mean, no one's sitting in the fucking stands anyway, so you
And
might as well
half a
just...
foot, man. That makes
Well, no,
all
not
the
now. You
difference.
can't. Look, they tried to shake hands and they didn't shake hands.
I mean, you still could, like, you could put, like a liner right there.
Right.
Like, oh, this is the actual fucking...
I don't know. I'm all for the pitcher.
Yeah.
I'm not one. If I had to pick one side, I'm all for the pitch. I love seeing a beautiful ball thrown. When you have that guy, either he just looks at it and he strikes out, or he swings and he just misses completely. Those are beautiful balls. I just cannot get over the beauty of somebody able to do something like that. The movements they have on them, the spins. I look at like Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds. Yeah, they were on steroids, but they still had to hit that ball, man. They still had to hit that ball.
Against some really
Barry
good
Bonds,
pitchers.
it's still in my mind today. Barry Bonds is the best hitter I've ever seen.
Ever.
Ever.
Ever?
Like, ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Even
that
though
dude
like,
doesn't strike out that much.
Well, I was gonna say
How
like
many? No,
Ichiro.
he gets walked more than anybody. I mean, that dude's on base percentage was over 500.
Oh
I mean,
my gosh, that's ridiculous.
I mean, think of the crappy team Barry Bonds had, and he still pulled that team and won a championship. with
that
it.
is
So,
true. He didn't have the best Giants team ever.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that dude
fuck,
still
they're
put up
hitting-
70. I mean, in my mind, he is the best hitter ever.
How many home runs did he have in the season?
70?
70 home runs?
Yeah, I
Did he
think
have
70 was
77?
Mark McGwire. Yeah,
71?
he had 75, I think. I may have to look that one up, but
Let's see.
What?
Let's see. I'll Google it. But
What? 70 home runs is still a lot, bro. That's a lot of at-bats. first off, and then a lot of home runs.
Well, you're basically almost.
And then that's what caused him to get walked all the damn time because nobody wanted to see all that craziness anymore.
Hell no. Especially not with you have Roger
Barry
Clemens.
Bonds had 73.
73.
Mark had 70.
Yeah, that was a
Sammy
battle.
Sosa was
Sammy,
right behind him with like
66.
60, 60.
God, those three fuckers.
And Sammy didn't get caught with steroids though, did he? He just had
He
the cork
did.
bat. huh?
Yeah, he had the cork bat. He didn't get roided.
Now that might be a whole nother issue.
I don't think that should be allowed.
No. Well,
That's-
everybody, here's a difference. But everybody's like, well, man, because even high school, they use composite bats. Now they use
Right.
that wood instead of the metal like they used to.
Mhm.
The difference between the two, because I used to play wooden bat leagues and metal leagues,
Mhm.
I really don't see the difference. The only difference between a metal bat and a wooden bat, I mean, there will be about 15-foot difference if your ball's hit or something like that, is your sweet zone on a metal bat is about that big. Your sweet spot on a wooden bat is about that big.
So it's compressed on a wooden bat where you can hit
you
it
gotta,
just
You
flush.
gotta make sure and hit a flush. If you hit a flush,
It's
it
going
doesn't
out no matter
It doesn't
what.
matter what bat you use. So I mean, if it's a cracked bat or something, or a metal bat that's got the top loose, obviously you're gonna lose a lot from it. But
Huh.
if you
Huh.
but
That's
if you hit the sweet spot on any bat, especially when you're out on at the end of your swing, it's gonna fly. So
Well, there you go, kids. Life lesson. Hit it in the sweet spot.
Just,
Yeah, I just-
what I heard it was corky bats. Shit would fly.
I don't know. See, that part, I don't know. It's like you can't condone cheating, period.
I don't give
But
a
if
fuck.
I were to pick the two cheating, I'd pick steroids over it.
Nah,
Because
hell no.
steroids, I feel like you still have to be, like, in your head, you have to know how to hit a curve. Like
this
you
is
said,
this is a mental game.
Yes.
Man. You still gotta do everything.
cork
right.
bat, I feel like, yes, you still got to hit, but you don't have to hit it as solid as if you were to hit it with roids. Like,
So you're not condoning the 66, you're condoning the 73. I see what you're saying.
No, I'm condoning
so his
the
66 was ass, but his 73 was perfectly good. I see what you're saying.
Just saying, man. Baseball is the only
Who was
sport.
number 4 on that list? Jose Canseco?
No, fuck no. I think it was some
I think
random ass people.
it's just whenever it starts hitting back in the
Roger
day.
Maris.
Yeah, there you go,
Who
Roger.
the
Back in 61.
1960s.
But
something,
like
yeah.
Sammy and Mark have multiple in the top 6. And
Oh, I thought you were
Barry's-
going in that season. I thought it was.
No, it was Barry
Oh.
in 2001 broke it. Sammy Sosa got 64 in 2001.
I thought you were running down the list that year. I
No,
thought that was in
no.
1 year. I was like, oh my god, those fools are just.
No, that's
No,
what
that's
they,
one-
that's what they got in 1 year.
Yeah, that's
No,
one
I
year
thought it was the same year.
that they
Oh,
all
okay.
hit the
all,
same.
All the same.
Oh
year.
no.
Yeah, no, I knew that Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa broke the record in the same year.
Bro, that was probably the one of the coolest things I ever remember from baseball.
There
When
was
you had
no
them
back
two
and forth.
racing each other,
That was awesome.
it was
And then-
literally
Who
like.
had a what?
Go ahead.
And then they had the, because that's what spiked up that home run derby, because that's who they ended up being in the championship playing against each other too, and everybody's like, oh man, we gotta see this.
Yes!
Who won?
You know,
I
can't
think Sammy Sosa won.
It could have been.
I think
can't
Sammy
remember
won that year in the home run derby, but overall, Mark McGuire won the race.
I was gonna wear my Mark McGuire jersey too.
I found this at the thrift store.
I was gonna wear it.
I think the record at the time was 60, and he smashed 61.
I
and
think
then
it was a 5.
No, it was 61, and that's when he smashed the 60.
Oh yeah, 61 smashing the record.
Mhm.
I don't know, but either way, he ended up going off and hitting 70 homers.
That's a lot of home runs.
That's a lot.
How many at bats you think a person averages like?
Well,
Throughout
if
the
you
year.
hit like once a game,
Yeah,
so
Once again,
so
that's
you get
162.
on average 4 bats a game, 162. So 162 times 4, whatever that may be.
fuck, like 600 at bats.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Give or take,
Yeah.
they usually get about 700 something. bats.
70 at bat, 70 home runs and 600 at bats. That's not fucking bad. That's
Oh yeah,
fucking
you're almost
crazy.
you're above like 200.
You're hitting better than some people's singles.
Just home
on the-
run
Yeah,
wise.
singles.
Just
bro.
home
God.
run wise, you're hitting better than people.
Yeah,
I don't know,
Barry Bonds
but-
has to be the GOAT for that one. Then I give Barry Bonds.
Here's the thing: do y'all like the style that they used to play, or the style nowadays? Because if y'all realize the home runs has gone way up for the last like 5 years. It's gone way up because they're starting to realize that's what's winning more games. Since the Astros that year,
Right.
they hit so many dang home runs, and everybody's like, well, guess what? That's winning them games. And you realize they're starting to go away from playing small ball to bunt and all that.
Well, I feel like that's how basketball transitioned. When Curry came along,
Yeah,
he started hitting
go to
threes.
the threes. And
Yes.
play the
Well,
three
what's
game.
worth more? Threes are these twos, and
Yeah.
maybe missing those two.
That's whenever you start seeing sports. Oh man, Michael Jordan's team would easily beat Steve Curry's team now, the Golden State, against the old Bulls. And I'm just like, you can't compare that because that's
No.
two different styles, two different ways of playing. They had to play a whole different way to find a method to beat that kind of method. So
Mhm.
I mean, of course, today is going to have the advantage because they learned off your method to begin with. So
Right, like if
That's
you
true.
put Jordan and them now, it's different because they're not going to be able to hand check. They're going to have to get used to like this 3-ball. It's different. But you put Curry and them in their era, they're going to get hand checked. They're going to get pushed to the ground. And they're not going to be flagrant fouls. They're just going to be your typical fouls.
That's true.
Exactly.
Curry would be like Steph Curry in the '90s. He'd just be a shooter, just a dude.
Maybe.
to
It's
shoot.
like you can't compare baseball now either.
No, and you're right.
Because guess what? 95-mile-an-hour pitcher back in the day is an awesome pitcher.
That's my
Today,
dog.
that's common. It's
Yeah,
common.
it's a common thing.
If about 85% of the pitchers. in
And
that
I remember
are
you used to
85+.
have like maybe 3, maybe 4 pitches. Now I feel like you're running like 5, 6 pitches. You have to have multiple
They
pitches.
got new names for everything.
Yes,
Their
you got
pitches,
2-seam, 4-seam, change up, curve.
slurve, all these weird
Yeah, like
name
you
stuff.
got so many pitches now, and it's like you have to have that all in your arsenal.
You still get that 1 or 2 knuckleball pitchers in there too somewhere.
Yes.
So.
Do I like it more now?
Ryan Braun.
It's more exciting.
I'm sure everybody's like, man, I want to see more offense though, because at the end of the day, how do they get paid? More fans, and the fans like to see what? The long ball, more hitting, So
I'm saying
if anything, because the pitching's getting so much better, and it's getting harder to hit, more strikeouts are happening, but at the same time, more home runs are too. But if you've seen back in the day, that's always 400 plus batting averages. Today, if you get that, that's just amazing.
Yeah, you're
So,
killing the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often.
My method, if they want something new to happen, they're just gonna have to move the mound back about, like I said, 6 inches and see what happens.
Who do you consider the best pitcher of all time? Randy Johnson?
No, it's still
Roger
Roger
Clemens?
Clemens. Yep.
I
Oh
like-
no, not Roger Clemens. Dang, he played for the Astros. He played for the Rangers.
Oh, Ryan Nolan?
No, Nolan Ryan. There you go.
Or Nolan Ryan?
Nolan
Who's Ryan
Ryan.
Nolan?
Yep, Nolan Ryan.
I think. Oh, I don't know.
I don't-
I think Randy
Ryan.
Johnson's the best of all time.
Ryan Johnson was good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good.
But he
How
only
many,
threw
how
one
many no
thing.
hitters did Nolan Ryan throw? He threw like 7 of them.
Yeah, he
Ask
had a lot.
anybody else say if they
Dude,
did
7
that.
no hit.
So
He was one of the
It's
best.
got-
I gotta
either-
look at this.
He was
it's
one
gotta
of the
be-
best. Plus, Roger Clemens did roids, I think, too, didn't he? What did he do?
yeah, it was
He did
roids.
roids.
I think
Yeah.
he was 7. I know he was.
He
somewhere
was
up
one
there.
of the best of all time.
But at the time, like I said, he threw 100 miles an hour. Not many, nobody else could. Nowadays, we got like 20 pitchers that can do that. So.
Ryan is the all-time leader in no hitters with 7.
That's ridiculous.
Holy. Yeah, never mind. Fuck that. 7 no hitters. You get like 1 if you're good.
Yeah, you get 1 in your life, that's a hyped up moment right there. Let
And that
alone
man
7.
threw 7 of them. I mean, granted, they might not have been good players back then. I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
there was good players
There
back
was
then.
there was always good players.
I was going
man.
to say, I think in every era you get good players. They're just
He threw 7
people try to compare
pitches.
nowadays to back in the days, and it's like nowadays is different because conditioning and doing everything is different because it's science now.
Pitchers don't look like that condition, but I'm gonna be real honest with you.
It's
Some of them
yeah,
are
they
fucking-
don't. They run a lot though. I know for a fact they run a lot because I was a pitcher to my time too. So
Oh,
and that's
okay.
all you have to do is after you throw over 100 pitches or throw 100 pitches, you got to run a couple miles to get that blood flow back in your arm.
Oh,
Just
there you
to
go.
just to so you can heal a lot quicker, faster also, and then after that run you ice over and stuff like that, get it prepared for the next time. So
So if you're a pitcher, listen
Yeah.
to the man. He
it's
pitches.
just,
No,
you
he
got
did
to
it.
run. You got to run a lot. No, you dang right. They ain't gonna be in the weight room at home.
I was gonna say they ain't doing all that. I
They're-
mean, I don't think that's beneficial for them. That's gonna wear their arm out. Their body's gonna be.
Well,
strained.
more muscle. It
Might slow you
requires
down.
oxygen, blood flow. It's only gonna wear you down more than it's gonna help
It's
you.
not gonna help.
You see them harder throwers out there. You see how far back their arms go to release it. And if you want to throw harder, man, you see that flexibility. That's what you need to get is that flexibility. So,
Yep. It's I don't know, man. Right now I'm glad to have M.L.B. back. I'm glad sports are coming back. I hope NFL makes will come back eventually.
I know.
no, man, I just hope this is the start of all sports coming back, man. I really do, because
It's nice. Do you
at
know
this
how
point, man, I hardly ever watch soccer, but I'll just watch some soccer.
Soccer.
If soccer was the only thing on, I would watch
Just
soccer.
watch
I was
it.
like,
golf's
fuck it.
been coming back slowly? I mean,
Do you have a football team? I don't mean to get off topic, but
Do I have a football team?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, but
well,
That's
good.
all of us. I guess we're just in the same boat for everything.
Hey, that's
well,
good.
I'll be because I grew up in Houston. I lived there for a couple of years, and at that time they didn't have the Houston Texans. They only had the Cowboys. There was the Houston Oilers, but that team got dismissed before I was living there. So I probably would have been a Houston Oiler, Houston Texan fan.
Oh dang!
But at
Well,
that
good thing you
time,
didn't do that.
yeah. But then,
That'd be tough.
but at that time, man, the only closest team to me was the Cowboys. So let's roll with the Cowboys. So.
We won't go down that dark road. We'll just keep it. We'll keep this episode happy.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would say another team so I
Hey.
could ask you a question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still if the Cowboys don't win, I usually root for the Texans.
Oh, that's fair.
That's an AFC team, so you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that. I can't root. The only sport I can root for multiple teams or just any team is baseball.
Yeah, I don't know football too. I could go for the Ravens because I like Lamar Jackson now.
I used to love the Ravens back in the day, only when they had Ray Lewis, though, man. 'Cause I
Yeah.
loved Ray Lewis. But
I can like players. I just can't root for a team.
I guess you're right. I like him because just his nickname, Big Trust. That shit's cool as fuck.
That's cool. I don't know. Baseball is historic. Like there's been so many good players, like you mentioned, Randy Johnson. I remember like Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire. Those were the guys I was watching when I was growing up.
Hey,
Chipper Jones.
Where's Harper playing now? My bad.
No, it's
Bryce
cool.
Harper, he's a Philly.
Vladimir Guerrero. Like you had Pudge Rodriguez on the.
Oh man,
like,
Ivan.
Yeah, there was all these like I just loved baseball.
See, this is what people don't ever see, though, man. Is back in the day, back in King Griffey Jr.
Oh, duh.
Randy Johnson, Pudge Rodriguez, all these guys were on the same team, but they were
Really? On the
so
Mariners?
young, on the Seattle Mariners.
What?
Yeah, and nobody
I know.
realized that because they were so young, and then they just spread out.
And they
And
became.
they came bad. They became very
Hall
good
of
on
Famers.
other teams. So, well, King Griffey stayed on the Seattle.
Yeah,
obviously,
he. Well, yeah, you don't give that guy up.
but no, you can't
That's
do
the
that.
greatest. That's the greatest.
Randy.
That might be the greatest hitter of all time. He had the smoothest swing.
Smoothest swing,
That
but
nigga
I don't know
was-
if
He was definitely up there though. That's for
Oh,
sure. That
okay.
dude was good.
He made it look so easy, just standing there. Just
That's what. Yeah, I was about to say. That's what made him though, man. That signature swing, man. That just looks so
it
smooth.
just looked like he was effortless out there. It looked like he was a Michael Jordan of fucking
He
baseball.
probably had the slowest bat speed of all hitters that hit bombs too.
Yeah,
But
he just it looked effortless.
Nah, Chipper Jones had a slow one too, though. Chipper
Yeah.
Jones was.
Chipper Jones was
Chipper
good.
just used a heavy bat, man. That dude would just swing a tree trunk.
Who is the greatest baseball player of all time?
Of all
That's
time.
hard.
Of all.
Man.
I'll probably go KG.
I can't do it like as are you talking about just
Just
I can only do
if,
it like categorized.
if
best
you
pitcher,
had to
best
pick
hitter.
one guy to start a team, it don't matter era, year, whatever. You're gonna
Oh,
pick
yes.
one guy.
I'm picking Randy Johnson.
You pick your Randy Johnson.
The
That's
fucking
a
goat.
hell of a pitcher.
I
man.
mean,
He's-
Or
he's-
Pedro Martinez. That's my dog
he
too.
took Royds.
I like
Man, that's
those.
tough. I'm
I don't
sorry,
even
you can't go away from Barry Bonds.
You
I
can't go away from
I
Barry
can't.
Bonds.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't even know who I would go with, to be honest. I'm not really
I don't
sure.
like the fact that he was doing steroid. If you're talking about best player that is
It
now
don't
Hall
matter.
of Fame or
If he
something,
did
though.
steroids, fuck it.
I'll probably do
Just
Jackie
best player.
Robinson. I was thinking Jackie Robinson too.
That guy I grew up because I'm a big. My favorite player growing up though was always Ichiro. So
Oh, yeah.
because I was always a fast dude, and I loved watching. That's how I played, is fast. And I do whatever I can to help the team get on the base, you know.
Not
But
probably like the
that
best
dude, that dude just
field goal percentage,
hits.
huh? Or batting percentage.
He had a dang good batting. But man, I'm telling you right now, if Altuve keeps it up, he may be beating everybody though, because he's gotten the most hits like 3 years in a row.
It's crazy how the Astros have turned it around. They were a 100-loss team for 3 years, and now they're a 100-plus winning team for 3 years.
All you gotta do is get the first round picks, man. Get
Tell
the right
Cleveland that.
players.
Tell the Cleveland Cavaliers that.
Hopefully they're like a 50-plus win team this year. Shit.
I don't know.
Basketball's a little different though, man. So football too, man. It's just football's different. Sometimes you'll get them number one quarterbacks and they don't do you any good.
That is true. Baseball, I feel like, is way deeper.
Baseball, you can get the number one pitcher who's throwing 95 and then train him to dominate in the M.L.B.
That's true, because you don't bring them up like you do quarterbacks. You're not throwing them in the first game of the season. You mold them for like 2 to 3 years, and then they're like some badass out of nowhere.
Yeah, but you gotta think baseball. A lot of our players are out of country too. So
Oh, that's true.
So we get a lot of the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, you know, Asians, you know.
That's
so
the only international real sport, huh? Maybe hockey.
Basketball.
Basketball don't have that many internationals.
You got
You
Euro,
got-
you got Greek, you got
what's
Asians.
that? Geronimo.
Asians? Who is Asian?
There's a dude on.
There's the French guy who plays for the Bucks. What's his name?
Oh, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a
That's
dude that's
one
eight.
guy. Don't say Luca.
Lucas from Slovenia.
Okay, that's two people.
Porzingis.
Who was that one that always made Michael
Ben
Jordan
Simmons from
mad back in the
Australia.
day? He was always made Michael
Oh,
Jordan
wasn't he
mad.
the one that came from across the seas to play
John
with him?
Kukoc.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Kukoc.
Kukoc or something like that.
I'm just
He
saying,
always made
majority.
Jordan
I'm not
mad.
saying there's nobody. I'm just saying, I feel like baseball is a majority
Yeah,
of
you get a lot of
international
Dominicans
players.
and Puerto Ricans.
Like you don't
That's
see
what,
just.
this is what they
Asians.
do all throughout the whole year. Is they play baseball. There's no other sport. There's no football. There's baseball. Guess what? Wintertime. Guess what they're doing? Playing baseball. That's what they do.
Extra football, you usually get like Mexicans. That's all the best you'll get out of anything.
Because once baseball season's over for us, so, growing up, we moved now to basketball, moved now to football, So baseball for them is year round.
What's that breaking news right there?
Oh, MLB posted to expand to 16 teams for 2020.
16 teams.
16.
Breaking news.
16 team.
Dang.
Postseason. What are those usually?
6 and 6.
So they're adding another 4 teams.
2 and 2. 8 teams on each. That means there's
Man, they
4
changed.
wild cards.
That man, they changed everything, huh?
What the?
Well, actually, no.
How
That
did
was
you
only
see that?
5, right? There was only 3 division winners and 2 wild cards, and the wild
Then that
card
wild
played.
card would have to play a game out.
They
to
just
see.
expanded it to 3 extra
They
teams
just
on
did
each.
basketball rules right there, huh? Because they
Oh
always did
my
basketball 16 teams, right?
Holy.
See,
crap.
now I take back my earlier statement, guys. I don't think a team that's gonna get hot's gonna win anymore because now you're gonna have to start from
It's a
the.
season in its own right there.
Yeah, that's a long. I wonder if they make the first
is
round.
it like this though? Is because you know how we do 7-game series? Is it
Mhm.
just one single game you're out, or
Nah, I say they do. If anything, they
Are-
lower it
are
to
they
3
bracketing?
best 3
yeah,
out of
that's the
5.
3. That makes
Are
sense.
they just gonna bracket 1 through whatever, or 8 through 1, whatever the fuck it is on each
No,
side?
they're not gonna separate. They're not gonna combine the 2 leagues.
Well, no, it's 16 teams, so it's 8 and 8. So
Right,
they're
right,
gonna
right.
go 1 and
1 and
8.
8, and then.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
okay,
they'll
okay.
do that.
So like how the NBA plays the playoffs.
Mhm.
Oh, so it's not like somebody's. Oh, okay, what you're saying.
It
So-
just. They.
So
I
no
don't
one's
think they've
getting
ever
like
done
that
that.
bye or whatever for like the wild card. The wild card's playing, So no one's gonna get that. Extra.
Nobody's gonna get that bye.
Damn.
I think they're
that's
gonna
tough.
just.
I'll be honest. I'm excited for it. I want to see this.
An extra,
guys.
extra team,
I mean, that's
bye?
cool. I mean, that's more than half the teams because I think there's only 30 teams.
There's
So
30
there's
teams.
now,
That's what I said,
now
it's
more
just
than half
basketball.
are in the league, are in the playoffs now.
So the Reds might win it. They have a chance.
At least I know the Astros will be there.
That's how I make my predictions when all teams make to the playoffs. I'm like, well, who's the hottest team that came in? And I said last year too. You know what? Nationals are gonna look mighty.
That's
And
who
they-
I said too.
And I didn't honestly think they were gonna win a World Series looking mighty, but
No, I didn't think they'd beat us. I
Yeah,
thought Nationals would come out and they're not gonna beat
And
us.
I knew we weren't hot, but we were playing good enough to beat.
I trusted our pitching.
I was
That's-
so
it's
pissed,
like-
bro. My homie's a damn Nats fan. And I was pissed.
Do you see the Dodgers ever winning?
No.
At least with their current rosters.
Well, you know what, man? If they're gonna win one, I think it may be this year.
This is it?
This is it gonna be.
Is there an asterisk next to their name?
It just. Well, Kershaw's not pitching tonight. He's on the injury list. So.
Oh, is he hurt or COVID?
I don't know. He's injury list. I don't know what it's from. If it's just a 1 day thing or what. But I know I seen on my phone and we took him out of the lineup.
Took him out of the game.
So,
Damn,
They're out.
but see, like that, I hate to do that to the guy. Like, I think he's a phenomenal pitcher. Like, he's probably one of the best during his era. He chokes. I don't know what it is. I don't know what. Maybe you're right. No fucking fans. Kershaw steps up and he throws a phenomenal game.
He throws 7 no-hitters in the season.
It could be, man.
I mean,
Like
that's
I
possible.
said,
He might have jitters. That might be his thing.
just when the crunch time. And some people are like that, man.
People don't like that. Maybe he just fucking shines in the postseason because they're gonna make the postseason.
They should.
Hopefully.
Yeah, they'll make postseason, especially with 16 teams. I mean, how can you not?
So that was one of those. That's the prediction for a lot of people right now. Yankees, Dodgers. Who's y'all's choices?
Yankees.
American League, National League. I'm gonna say. Jeez, I'm gonna say Dodgers on the National
You think
League
Dodgers
side.
are coming out?
Yeah, on American League side, man, I couldn't tell you though, because I honestly fear the Twins a lot. So.
You really like the Twins, huh?
Yeah, I
I'll
think the
probably-
Twins got the pitching.
I'll probably go
They
with
got
the
the best
World Series
sticks.
champions.
They're up there. And Yankees, man.
Yeah, Yankees are the front runner.
I'll go
Yankees,
Nats,
that's
Astros,
right.
bro, again. Fuck it.
Ah, don't
Run it
care.
back.
I honestly think the Astros will have the best hitting this year, though.
Really?
I do, just because all that hype. I could be wrong, though. I mean, all that crap they had to deal with.
Damn.
I mean, they got something to prove.
I
this
like
year.
the Stros.
They got something to prove this year.
I really do like the Stros, and I think I like the Mets coming out. And honestly, I kind of like the Mets versus the Yankees more than I like the Stros.
But they're on different fucking.
What? That's right. Look, it's the series,
National League
the
versus
Subway
Mets.
Series.
They are one's national.
20 years later. 20 years later, the Mets versus the Yankees.
That's weird.
That's gonna be-
How's AL work? Like, did they just pick fucking 15 teams, 15 teams?
It's, yeah, basically National
Yeah.
League and American League. There's no.
Well, the difference, the way I always thought of it, and then they just took it out this year, was just because of the DH, and now it
doesn't matter.
don't matter no more.
They just
No,
need
no.
to pick the 16.
I bet you this is the start of the new rules.
Well, I just seen earlier today that because Houston, every team in their division, was it the Angels, the A's, and the Rangers, right? That's Texas or California. So they only got 8 games this year that are not in Texas or California.
Oh,
So,
damn.
Yeah.
That's what's
And
And that's going to be against, I think, the Dodgers and someone other. I can't
So they're
remember.
still in California.
Yeah.
Damn. But maybe that's COVID reasoning too. Like,
Yeah.
I bet you New
They got
York's
the
gonna
Braves.
play New York, and they're gonna play like
Philly.
Pittsburgh and Philly. Maybe those teams, because the shorter travels, I think, is important right now.
Very smart. Very, very smart.
Can't. Yeah, can you count? The other airlines are still working, huh? They still can fly.
They are,
Okay.
but you want to limit travel as best as
As
possible.
much, yeah.
And if you could maybe take a bus, like from New York to Pittsburgh, because it's only a few hours, it's probably better that way than to
Yeah.
get on a plane.
Yeah, Florida teams are going to
You'd have to take a few buses though, man, because at the same time you still can't have players be bunched up against each
Oh,
other.
right,
so-
right. I think when you have team buses and the people that are in those buses are only you guys, that's
So what are
better.
the Blue Jays going to do?
They're actually playing in Pittsburgh. They're going to share the stadium with Pittsburgh Pirates
Okay.
because Canada don't want Americans going to Canada, and they don't want them to come to America and take COVID back to
That
Canada.
makes a lot of sense. Honestly, I totally spaced that out. I'm glad
Yeah.
y'all cleared that up for me.
Broke that
Yeah.
news too. Also, there was the rule that players, I guess, you could be considered two-way players, where like only in extra innings could a player, like a positional player, pitch if necessary. They uplifted that rule where now, like, say you're down by 15 or whatever, you could throw a player in just to preserve your pitching.
That works. That's cool.
So you might see Mike Trout, Correa,
All of a
Some
sudden,
guys go out there and pitch.
Yeah, I don't.
Lindor's about to go out there and just start pitching.
I don't know if all the other teams did it with the Astros, but Astros got only 15 players, 15 fielders, and then the other 15 is pitching. So
I think that's smart.
like,
Hey, yes,
that's a
strategy.
lot of pitching right there, though.
But think about
That
it.
sucks if one of your batters get
What
hurt.
if you go down, one guy goes down, next guy up?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
need pitching.
That's
I mean,
true.
at the end though, like I said, remember on August 6th they're taking 2 guys out, and then August 20th, who do you take out now?
You take one of your worst pitchers.
And then
Definitely keep your positions and take your pitchers.
Yeah, take a pitcher that's not doing so.
Yeah, just
throw him back in the fire out there in the.
because that's the
Triple
thing
A.
too. You got to think you don't want your pitchers to be throwing every 3 days. Every,
No, yeah, you're right.
you would rather pitch a new guy every few days.
That's crazy. I wonder how the rest of the league's gonna play, because obviously not just New York and Texas plays. So fucking Florida, who the fuck Florida gonna play?
Florida has Miami. They have Balana's not too far from there.
It's not far. Philadelphia, because they got the Phillies.
They used to be called the Florida Marlins, huh?
Yeah, that was
When they won the World Series, and I just thought that now they're the Miami Marlins.
It just throws it off, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just snapped. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I never even thought about it until
Well,
literally.
I guess they did that just so they didn't confuse, because there's more than one Florida team. So
I guess so. I
Who's
don't
other
know.
one?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa
Uh,
Bay,
Double
so they
A's.
could play them. They could play. There's teams everywhere.
That's
You just
true.
want to limit your travel. I don't know. So, final predictions. What do you think is going to be the best record in the league? 60 games. Best record. It don't matter the team. It's just let's predict the best record.
60 games. 40 and 20.
40 and 20.
I got 48 and 12. So the numbers just popped in my head. I don't even. It's the right math, right? 48. Yeah, that's right math.
Yeah, I was debating. I was like, should I go
I'm-
45 and 15?
I'm going 55 and 5.
What the fuck? Who's gonna win?
I don't know.
Who's gonna lose 5 games? The
So
Dodgers?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what,
I'm
whoever-
going all fives across the
Whoever
board.
goes 55 and 5, if you don't win the World Series,
I will be upset.
I don't know what to
It's all
tell
the
you.
I just saying. That sounds good. All fives.
Oh,
Fucking
it sounds like the Michael Jordan Bulls right there.
God
Losing 5
damn,
games there.
55 and 5.
It might be the
If you
Stros.
get it right, I'll throw you $50, bro. Fuck you, that.
It could
Damn.
It could be anybody right now.
I'm
but
just saying it's a short
You should
season.
just went undefeated.
No, I didn't want to. I figured they might go on a couple 20-game winning streaks and lose.
Couple of
Yes, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to go on a couple of hot streaks. Maybe 10
Fuck.
here, maybe another 20, and then maybe
I got a
another
question
10 and
for you.
10.
Who are you predicting to do that? I want your
I think the
prediction on that
Astros
one.
are like the Tom Brady, and
I
I
would-
think they're gonna come out and they're gonna prove a
Kick ass.
point. They're gonna
I
say
think,
we don't need
I
to
think
cheat.
if anybody would do it, it's to be somebody from the National. I think American League's just too dang tough, and there's just,
Maybe.
it just
But I think about it. I'm not afraid of the Angels. Really not. And the A's, they're a hit or miss. We kind of tend to lose to them sometimes.
So
but I
one
think
of those
this is-
5 games.
A's are good, man. They really are, but they always find a way to choke. So
Yeah, and then the Rangers,
they got better pitching.
they,
than us,
they
I
do,
think.
but
That's
even
it.
then, I feel I'm not afraid of them.
Mm-mm.
And so I look at those 3 divisional games. That's what, probably 20 games in itself.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
see, but we're playing Seattle Mariners right off the bat. And what did Seattle do the last 3 years?
They did get
they,
hot at the end.
They got very hot because they started the season out 15-2 like last 3 years in a row. Like, man, this team's got it. I wonder if they change things around, and then they'll lose like 25 games in a row. You're like, nope, that's the old Seattle, remember?
Yeah. Well,
So I'm just hoping we don't start out like against them hot.
see,
you
that's
know,
what could
so-
hurt teams, though. Is there's those teams that start off slow and then they catch fire.
That's
There's
what-
no slow starts. You can't start slow.
Yeah, 60 games, man. If you're playing even a crappy team that's hot, I mean that sucks. I mean
That is true.
it could be bad quick.
All right, so you got two and a third going on over here with
Yep.
40 and
I got
20,
2 and a third.
and you
40 and 12.
that's like 3/4.
Yeah, that's like
So-
that's like
Four,
4/5.
yeah, 4/5 actually. So and I'm just going straight like 95% right now.
They're gonna just balls to the wall.
They're just gonna go
They're gonna
crazy.
fucking hit mad home. What is somebody saying?
Because see,
60
they're so
home
worried
runs
about
in 60
COVID,
games.
you could even slide some cork bats, some roids in, and who would know?
Hey, 60 games. Somebody
Everybody's
hits
watching
60
TV.
home runs.
Everybody don't know now.
60
There you
games.
go.
Somebody hits a home run every game.
No, I don't think that. I think the most home runs this season is gonna be
Like
maybe
15, 20.
20. Yeah, I don't
Sounds
see
about
more
right.
than that. That even seems excessive.
Trout hits 30.
I'm gonna say 25. Someone gets 25.
25.
I'm gonna go Trout about 30.
I'm gonna go 20 for 2020.
I'm gonna say
19 for
I'm gonna
COVID.
say that dude.
19.
I'm gonna say a dude from the Mets gets 25. I can't think of his name.
The Mets.
Yeah, he got 50 something last year.
God damn, motherfuckers be hitting home runs left and right.
Boy.
He was a rookie last year and hit 52. Can't remember his name.
I do remember that. I don't know who it is either.
Yeah, I can't.
Want me to fact check it?
Nah.
Wow.
So we got some. Who did you have in the World Series?
Repeat Astros now.
Oh yeah, and he said the Twins he's afraid of. to have-
I really didn't pick an AL team yet, did I?
No,
That's
it's
when
well. You gotta
Dodgers-
think. You have 8 teams now. That changes it.
You know what? Let's change this up a little bit because you know who's always a hot team until it comes playoff time after 160 games is the Braves. And
That is
and
true.
They don't have to worry about 160 games this year. So
Just have to worry about
so
60.
yeah, they don't have to worry about 60. So this year they may do something, you know. So
Can I change it back
Yeah.
to the Dodgers Astros where we can run that fade and beat the ass after?
You know what?
That would be
That would
cheating.
World
Run that
Series.
That would be the ideal.
Run that fade. Fuck
There
it.
you go.
I'll be honest with you, man. That if that could happen and the Astros win again, that'll shut up anything and everything.
I would love it because I have so many Dodger homies.
You know what?
I'm
I'm
like,
going back to. I'm picking that one as well.
hey,
That's my
fans,
World Series.
Man, once I heard about the scandalous, the Astros cheating, man, I got so many messages, so many people blowing up my phone. I was just like, my God, y'all. And like I was part of the group of doing that or something. What do you want me to do about this?
Hey,
huh?
Astros, throw this man a ring, bro. This man was getting hate crimes
Yeah,
on him.
yeah.
or something.
You still like that? I love them still. I don't
Still
care.
love. I will rock them till the day I
I
die.
had to mark my tattoo off and
That's
everything.
so
I had to
funny.
scratch it off because everyone was coming at me.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
man.
it happens, man. All right, well, we'll see what our predictions are here in about 3 or 4 months.
If y'all been
I'll
watching,
let you guys know.
If y'all been watching, my predictions have always been ass.
Their ass?
Every time I predict something, it's just never.
You know, I've never really looked back.
like I said, the Browns are gonna fucking win.
Oh yeah,
They
that was
fucking
bad.
suck.
That was the only one that I think I went
That
back.
was a Super Bowl prediction. That was fucking almost ran the fucking table.
Oh yeah, he almost predicted the Chiefs versus the Packers.
It was the
Oh.
Titans versus.
Oh no, yeah, the Titans
Oh,
versus the
for
Packers.
this last year?
Yeah, he
at
guessed
the
it like
beginning of the season.
August.
Really? Really?
And it
I came close to the year and I said Chiefs would make the Super Bowl, but I can't remember who I picked for national.
Well, now you have a on-camera World Series prediction: Dodgers and no AL team.
I'm gonna go. I gotta pick somebody, huh? I'm hoping it's a Dodger Astro, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be Dodgers and Yankees maybe.
Okay.
So-
I mean,
That's
that
not-
would
that's
be
not
cool.
bad.
It would just suck for them because they got to travel across the country. To
That'd be fucking horrible. They'd probably just find a neutral spot. There's no fans. It doesn't really fucking matter.
No, it wouldn't matter.
They'll just put them right there in Kansas City. No,
Maybe by that time there are fans.
I'm telling you, man, Garrett Cole makes that team a hell of a lot better.
I know,
so-
that makes me sad.
And the Yankees are actually starting to hit the ball. I mean, I couldn't tell you last time I seen Stanton swing.
He just hit a home run
No,
tonight.
that's what I'm saying. Stingley swing the bat as good as he's doing right now.
Yeah, they were all hitting
Because he
good
wasn't.
recently.
In my last 2 years, I feel like they wasted their money on the guy. But
They got
Yeah.
really good defense too.
It's all about getting used to wearing them pinstripes. It's like wearing the Cowboy star.
that's
You
one
gotta
thing I
get
do
used
like
to it.
about the Yankees, though, man. I'm not a Yankee fan by all means, but if you're a Yankee man, you have to play for the team. You see how they don't ever put their last names on the back of their jerseys?
Mhm.
You have to play for the team. You're playing for a team, not for your name. You know what I
Judge
mean?
still looks big as he's probably as big as me on his knees. Like no fucking cap. He's probably as my
Well, he's
height.
like 6'7".
Motherfucker's
tall,
huge.
bro.
Yeah, he's tall.
big.
Is he the biggest dude in the M.L.B? He has to be 6'7".
Well, not only the new guy on our team, man. He's 6'7" too.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he's probably not gonna start because
Who the fuck
he's
are
still
feeding
not.
these guys?
Yeah, I was about to
It's
say.
How
a
do you
different,
feed a
it's a different
teenager?
era, man.
How do you feed a teenager that's 6'2", 6'3", like fucking A?
You're a monster.
Hope you guys hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, put in the comments you appreciate our commentary today on the MLB. Voice y'all's opinion in the comments who you think's gonna win the World Series this year. Hope you guys are excited for the upcoming season. We already know. Later.
Later.
Later, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about.